Hello, MavMind Collective, and welcome to another episode of the Hypnosales Show. Today, we're going to be understanding office politics. If you've worked at a large company or even a small company, a corporate company, and you're either an employee or a leader there and you have a team, or whatever the role is you have at the company, typically you'll hear this word or this term known as office politics, which is politics within the company. And usually, in my experience, people's reaction to that word office politics or that phrase office politics is negative. Most people have a negative connotation when it comes to office politics, either because they felt like they were railroaded maybe in a job they had, or they couldn't function because there was so many politics going on. They couldn't function and they had to leave and find another job, or they were backstabbed by someone unexpectedly, blindsided by something where people are being political around them without including them, and so they ended up having to leave, or they got worked out of the business, so to speak, for political reasons versus maybe performance reasons or something like that. So typically, those are very rare cases. That doesn't happen everywhere, but it does happen occasionally in certain companies and specific situations. So I can see why, and I understand why you might have a negative connotation, and probably why you clicked on this video, because you wanted to understand office politics, is maybe it's a little confusing to you. And I will agree that it was confusing for me as well until I started studying it, started practicing, and realizing that office politics actually are very beneficial. They're very, very good for you, but you just got to understand them. And that's what I'm going to do with this video, and I'll have some future videos that go more into depth onto some of the aspects of office politics, because I think the more I can educate you and we educate each other on office politics, and the more open we are, the better it is for everyone. And you'll see why as we go through this list. So the first one is, first bullet point here is just avoid denial. Like, stop telling yourself that we don't have politics at my company. Like, you need to stop doing that right now, because you do have politics. And if you don't think you do, that's because you're not included in those politics. You're not aware of it because they're not letting you be aware of it. Okay, it is happening. There are politics, and you need to stop denying, and you need to accept the fact that your company has politics right now. If you're watching this video and you can hear my voice, as you listen to my voice, you accept the fact right now that the company you work for has office politics. Whether you know it or not, or whether you believe it or not, it's there. So accept it first. That's the first step into becoming better and understanding office politics, is to accept that you have it at your company. The second bullet here is everyone at your company has an agenda, including you, including me. We all have an agenda. So you gotta put it in those terms, frame it in your mind. Everyone has an agenda, meaning everybody wants something out of their experience at working at the company that you work at. Everybody wants something different. Not everybody wants the same thing. Some people just want to interact with other people. Some people want to grow their skills. Some people want a career path. Some people want all of that. Some people, they just want to, be part of something big, something special, a unicorn company, a unicorn team. They just want to feel like they can contribute. So there's many different motivations for people, but don't fool yourself or kid yourself by thinking that some people have an agenda and other people don't. Everybody has an agenda. You have to keep that in mind. Everyone has an agenda. Everybody wants something out of the experience of working at the company. And so our job, if we're going to understand politics, is to understand everyone's agenda, to know and assume they already have an agenda, and that your job is to figure out what their agenda is. So make it a point today to accept the fact that there are politics at your company. Everyone has an agenda. Your job is to get with each person and figure out what they want, and just ask them, hey, what do you want out of that working here? Like, what are you looking to do? What do you really want out of this experience of working here? Now, ask them that. That's a key question. See what they say. And then that'll help you figuring out what type of political player they are, which I'll talk about in another video. If I haven't already made it, it'll be on this channel, the 4 types of political players. So you want to ask that question, figure out what agenda they have, and how they reveal that to you indicates what kind of player they are. So that's another video you can watch later But you want to make sure you just assume that everyone has an agenda and your job is to figure out what their agenda is. The third part here is most politics within an office or within a company are open, meaning that people are sharing their agenda freely. And you should share your agenda freely too. In fact, you should make sure everybody knows, as many people as you can at least, appropriately know what your agenda is, what you're looking to get out of the experience. You deserve, and everyone deserves to know why you're working there. Why are you working at the company? So always figure out, how do you explain that agenda? How do you share that agenda without being too overbearing to someone, and just sharing it openly and just discussing it and saying, here's what I want to get. I want to get promoted. I want to be able to help customers. I want to learn this skill. I want to get better. Like, figure out for yourself what that agenda is. Maybe 2 or 3 things that you want. And then how do you articulate that very concisely and very simply, and summarize it, and then share that out with people, and then ask them, hey, what's your 2 or 3 things that you'd like to get out of this? And then again, discover their agenda and make sure you're being open with it, because most politics are open. Unlike some of the negative connotations that I said at the beginning of this video, some people have a negative connotation to office politics because there are people within the company perhaps that are hiding their agenda. They're not sharing their agenda with people. That's when it becomes negative. When you start hiding your agenda and you share it with only a couple people here and there, and you're kind of secretive about it, then people subconsciously pick up on the secretness in the way that people behave. And that's what gives it the negative connotation, because nobody likes secrets. The subconscious mind doesn't want surprises. The subconscious mind doesn't want mystery. That scares it. It makes you feel unsafe and uncomfortable. And like I've said before in other videos, the subconscious mind wants to be safe and comfortable at all times. So by being open with your agenda and encouraging others to be open with you, you help everyone to eliminate that mystery, and everybody knows. Even if you don't agree with that person's agenda, like you go, you want that? You want to get that? I don't want to help you. You don't have to help them get their agenda, but you do want to be open with it. Or you want to advise them, like, I would change that around. Maybe you should seek this instead. And then you also need to be open to someone changing your mind about your agenda too, because someone else smarter than you might be able to help you. And maybe someone with more political power within the company might be able to help you gain more political power yourself by encouraging you to change your approach and your agenda and redefining what you actually want out of it. And if you think you have to change and it's not going to work out because what you want is not aligned with what everybody else kind of wants, and you can't figure out how you're going to help each other with each other's agenda, because that's the ultimate goal, is you want to help others with their agenda and you want them to help you with yours. If you don't think that's going to happen, perhaps it's not the right company to work for. And maybe you need to deselect out and go find a different company where the agenda is more aligned with your agenda. So again, you want to make sure that your agendas are open and you're helping each other figure out what each wants and how do you help each other do that. And then also, I'm just going to say, open politics like this is actually the definition of a democracy. So I've said before in previous videos, a business is not a democracy. A corporation, a company you work for, does not have to be fair to you, does not have to give you equal rights as everybody else, because there are different people with different talents. And it's a business. You're getting paid to do a job. You're not just existing and just wanting equality. You have to contribute and get paid for your job. So the business has a right not to be fair to you, and it never really will be fair. Although some companies do attempt to be fair where they can. So office politics is an area where you can actually help to make it more fair, believe it or not. By understanding people's agendas, figure out how you're going to help them, get them to help you, figure out how they can help you, and you kind of help each other with each other's agenda, you can actually help the company to become more fair with people, more fair with you and others on the team. And what you kind of give and invest in someone else to help it be fair for someone else, they will in turn, it's called political favors, right? They will give you a political favor later whenever you need a favor and you need some political leverage, as they say. You can use the leverage, and you can also offer leverage based on what you know and how you help other people. So again, I'm going to do other videos, if I haven't already, about some of these other aspects of political, being a better political player, and principles of office politics, for example, and the 4 types of political players, and which one are you. Those will be other videos you can watch. But this is just the basic starter 101, understanding that, hey, there's office politics, whether you believe it or not. So you got to stop denying it, start accepting it, start realizing everyone has an agenda. Your job is to figure out what their agenda is, and share your agenda openly. Be open, create open, avoid hiding politics, because that's when things become hidden, that's when it becomes negative. So you want to keep it positive and create that democracy and create fairness. Give everyone a fair chance to get what they want out of the experience of working at your company today.
Thank you for watching. I know you find value in these videos, didn't you? Now, if you, like me, are in a customer-facing role, you want to get better every day at what you do, but you don't have to watch another video if you don't want to.